listening.
You're not listening to the Shameless Goat.
Listening to
The Shameless Goats.
the Shameless Goat.
And guess what? It's the Shameless Ghost Podcast. What's up,
Hey,
buzz?
everybody.
Yo, so it's me, Kenny Ken, Tony One and Only, Big Little Mike, Little Big, whatever the fuck.
Don't call him Big, please.
Dating that Pete.
Hey,
What's going on, y'all? Y'all
what's up,
good?
everybody?
Yes, sir. Good, doing good, brother. How about yourself?
I'm good. So let's get straight into it. 50 Cent and what's his son name? Marquise. Go ahead.
They call him 25 cents.
Somebody wants to know, is there a possibility of you know, actually your son wants to sit down with you?
No, he doesn't. See, Charlamagne, you would call me. You don't call TMZ to say you want to sit down. Think about it, man. In the text messages that was out, if y'all get a chance to look at them, that's me talking to his mother. Because his mother's texting me through his phone. I told you I was giving her $500,000 a year. They go through the paperwork, they say $500,000 a year. Well, at that point, she still was expecting more. This is why I took her to child support. You don't usually sign up for child support. Like I took myself to child support because she wasn't understanding that I'm already giving you more than you're supposed to get. Then when it turns into the $6,700, that's not enough, and it's never going to be enough.
All right. 50 Cent and Marquise.
Wow.
So
Now-
how y'all feel about that?
Yo, so before we got on here, Junior, you said that you actually agreed
With
Marquise.
Okay.
So I'm interested in that.
All right. So it takes a while to get there, but do I think Marquise? He's a grown man now. I think he's 25.
He's 25.
Right.
So should he be begging his dad for money? No. Obviously, at this point, you're a grown ass man. But when he said, "Dad, I want to meet with you," not that I agree with.
But didn't Charlamagne say that he was texting with the mom and not with the son?
No, that was 50 Cent. That.
Yeah.
But 50 said like, well, if you want to meet me, you would have said it online.
Yeah.
Right.
TMZ.
But the son says, you have me blocked.
Oh.
So.
But the text, right? Didn't 50 say that he was texting with the mom and not
Yeah,
with,
about the arrangement. Yeah.
so he did have the phone number, it wasn't blocked.
No, but he said he was texting his mother, right?
Through the phone. It was the son's number, but he was texting the mom.
So I think those are two different timelines.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, why I agree with 50. I mean, now I don't know why he's still paying child support now. I don't
think he's
understand.
paying.
No, I don't think he's paying
Oh,
anymore.
he was.
Yeah, that's done.
It's done. Okay, so it went from $500,000 a year to
6,600, something like that.
month.
6,700 a month.
a month, which is
Still.
Still a lot.
no, it's not a lot. Let's be honest here. Like 50 Cent is one of the richest people in America.
So you're comparing, okay, for his lifestyle and
Yes.
what he has, is it a lot?
Oh,
That's not-
6,700 a month. That's 80,400 a year. It went from $500,000 to 80,000.
That's a big difference.
That's a
Whoa.
huge difference.
That's a huge difference.
Wow.
That's a huge difference.
I don't even 80% decline.
Jesus
something like that.
Christ.
But I mean, honestly, it's not his fault. The court said to pay
it's not
$6,700.
his
It's the risk that she took
right.
for going to court with him,
Because
not thinking that $500,000
it's true.
a year
I agree with that.
isn't enough.
But I think now when the son was like, yo, $6,700 a month is not enough, I agree with that.
I don't agree with that part though.
Whoa, 80,000 a year for one child? That's not enough?
I don't even think it's about that though. To me, it's like whatever it is that the court says that you have to pay, that doesn't mean that that's all you do for your child.
No, for sure. I agree with that part. What you're saying. But
So
for the
that's
son to say 6,700 isn't enough, nigga, what the fuck are you doing? That
Yeah, what are your
$6,700 isn't
expenses?
enough. Now, based off of his income, it's not enough. But when the son comes and says, "Yo, I need more money than that," nigga, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's not for him to say that.
But
It's not.
But this later, like the clip when the son responds to that, he was like, "All right, Dad, I'll pay you $6,700 to spend a day with you." And you know,
He said he would pay $50,000, $6,700 just to spend a day with him?
yeah, and obviously 50 was like, that's when he made that commercial. I don't know if you've seen the commercial.
I didn't see the
Right.
That's
commercial.
funny.
It's 50's a troll, dad.
Huge troll.
Trolling his own son.
He's like in a tub and his son is on TV. It's just like shit.
that's funny.
Shit's so unexpected, dog.
But I think that's his son reaching out for like, damn, all right, Dad.
50 might not understand the emotional connection that the son's looking for.
I still call his bullshit.
Oh, really?
Why
Who,
now?
50 or
No,
his
the
son?
son.
Okay.
Why now And why on TV or with TMZ do you want to spend time with your father? I'm sure he has ample amount of time to say this in person or over the phone, text message. I don't give a fuck if my number is blocked. You don't go to TMZ.
So text from another number. Oh, 50 won't respond.
No, I saw on some other platform that 50 said that even if he's blocked, he could reach out through other people. He used whoever he was talking to as an example. He said, hey, if you needed to get in contact with me, you know what person or people to call.
Again, why is the onus on the child?
It's not on the child.
If we just said 50's like, if I blocked you, why don't you reach out with somebody else? Like, wait.
Okay.
Why are you blocking? You're my dad.
So put it in its full context. According to 50, 50 said that, this isn't the only thing that he's tried to do for his son. He bought his son a whole shoe store, and he was supposed to run the shoe store like a business. He set up a whole business for him. The business completely went under. He didn't take 50, according to 50, the son didn't take his advice. His son was listening to his mom, and it put a rift between the two. So he said he's tried on many occasions to reach out. He said he would go and fly to whatever city his son is in to try to be next to him, to try to talk to him, and his son rejected him. And that at some point he was just like, all right, well, I'll wash my hands of it. So at that point, if assuming what 50 said is true, if he tried a whole bunch of times to reach out and try to make amends with his son, at some point,
right, and
that's
I think
a bad relationship, though.
I think we're also forgetting that 50's son is 25 years old. So there's no more, how you said, you putting it on the child. That's not a fucking child anymore.
No, I'm your child.
Right, I don't care. Once the child is 25, you treat that nigga like a man. If he doesn't want to, if I'm flying over to you and you rejecting me, you're a grown ass man now. You're not a little boy. You're not a minor anymore.
See, but that's not black and white because you can't treat him like any man.
No, not any man. But I'm saying like his decision, because if you keep blocking me, I'm gonna understand that you're making a wise decision. You're a man now. You can make a decision. You're not a child. I'm not gonna like hold this towards a child. You're over 18. You're working. You probably have a family. If you don't want to fucking talk to me, okay.
How many kids 50 got?
I don't know, 3.
Yeah, he has multiple. I know it's not the only one. I think it's
for
the
sure.
oldest.
It's the oldest, but not the only one. Yeah.
Does he have relationships with the other kids, or he ain't got?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
He does?
They're all on his
Yes, he
Instagram.
does.
Oh.
Yes, he does.
Great one.
Yeah.
So he's not a bad father. Something is going on.
You could have been a bad father to your oldest child.
That's true.
Which is
that
true.
child could have been a trial and error.
That was when he was hustling, trying to come up in the
a different
industry.
person.
And maybe that child was born like when 50's career took off, which was like 20 years ago.
In the club.
True.
That's
which
true.
Was like 2000
Because he's 25, so it would have been before then.
It would have been, yeah. So I could see maybe this kid was like, damn, I'm 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying to have sex with a groupie. Or let me not say that. I don't know.
No.
That lady a groupie?
You don't know his mom?
Yeah.
Oh.
I had sex with this woman. She had a kid. And I just wasn't prepared.
And I'm on the road.
But what you're saying is a real thing because I have actual friends who are in that situation on both sides. I have a homeboy who has older siblings who resent him and his younger sibling because they didn't have the relationship with his parents that y'all know what I'm trying to say. They didn't have the relationship with his parents that they do now.
Right.
My homeboy and his younger sibling. Like they see him and his younger sibling being spoiled. And so to them,
And
it's
he
like,
feels resentment about that.
and the older kids,
Why?
Because
Leave that alone. That's not for you.
No, you're talking about children though. It's a little
exactly.
different.
But he said you're a friend. You're not friends with a kid.
Not my friend.
He's
My friend's older siblings felt resentment towards him because they got better treatment from his parents than they did.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Gotta let that shit go.
I'm not saying
it's not that
I hear you, but I'm not making a judgment on it. I'm just saying that what we're describing Marquise going through is I've seen that before.
My biggest thing is like, let me just say how I feel then. I don't feel like you never treat your kid as an adult. I'm 35. I still call my mom mommy.
Same.
You know what I mean? I'm a grown ass man.
Yeah.
My mom still could check me any day. It's limits, obviously, now.
Yeah.
But I still have that because she's never given up. She don't see me as like, I'm still her son, period.
Yeah.
Regardless.
So 50, I'm like, I just can't. The fact that you have your son blocked is crazy as hell to me.
But that's the relationship.
And he's tired of that little nigga. God damn. Can you imagine the shit that he must have dealt with his son to block his number? He's tired of him, dude.
But it goes back to your point though.
That kid.
Junior, like when you saying I can't imagine my mom blocking me, like exactly 50 probably can't imagine himself blocking his kid. So how much had to happen for 50 to get to a place to block his own son.
Nah, see, I agree with Junior on that part. I can't see myself blocking.
There's no
right.
Yeah, I can see myself. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
This is just
right. But how much has to happen for you to block your child?
A fuck ton.
Exactly.
And I don't think, with all due respect to 50, I don't think he went through a fuck ton.
Yeah, that's what I don't know.
I'll tell you this. With the baby mother, it may be a lot of stuff coming from the baby mom.
And that's the BM though. That's not your child.
But she also instills a lot of bullshit within her son, and it carries on to the son, 100%. Like whatever she tells that son, and is what, as we can see, he believes a lot of shit. From 50's side, he's saying that the boy believes a lot of shit his mom is telling him.
Of course, that's my little girl.
Right, and she's probably been there from day one while 50's on the road, just trying to send money or whatever. Right. So whatever the mom say, 50 a fuck nigga, and then so now you can understand the relationship that they have based off what the mom was saying.
But unless he come and say to his dad's face, "Daddy, you a fuck nigga," like what did he actually do?
I mean, I can say I think that's possible. I mean, what's happening right now? He probably did say my dad's a fuck nigga.
But that's what he would have to have done, that to his face or on the phone, like in person.
I don't doubt it that it happened.
Yeah. So if that happened, then we're talking about something different. Then it's like, oh well, damn.
You're on the internet saying I owe you more money, and $6,700 isn't enough. At what point he said he could have just picked up a phone and called him and let him know?
Yeah, I mean, if your son is out there saying, "Hey, Dad, I will offer you $6,700 for 24 hours,"
but that's probably fake.
That's bullshit.
His son is probably just like he 25 cents. He trolling his dad just like his dad trolling him.
25 cents.
25 cents.
I will pay him $6,700 so we can do everything I ever wanted to do with him as a kid.
Yeah,
that's
sounds
bullshit.
fake. That sounds fake. That sounds fake. That sounds fake. He got uncles. Now something.
He got uncles.
He got
right.
My bad. He got uncles to reach out to, where they could reach out to 50 and they could really make amends if that's what he really wants. I don't think he really wants that, based on what he's saying publicly. It's what you do privately. Now, something that he did crazy publicly is taking a picture with a dude that tried to kill 50.
Oh shit!
So with that, do you block your son?
That's wild.
Do you block your son?
Which guy that tried to kill 50? Who is this?
Some dude tried to kill 50, and his son took a picture with dude.
Did the son know, or was it a mistake?
Oh yes, he knew.
He knew.
9 billion people in the world. You take a picture with this nigga, you know what the fuck is going on.
I don't know. It could have been a mistake, but damn.
No. He knew.
You know, block that nigga.
Right, block his ass.
He knew.
Like that's low.
That's low. That's low.
And 50's probably not. You know what I'm saying? 50 from the streets. Like shit like that happens.
Yeah, he cut you off.
You clap back. Yeah. But now you're my son, so I'm gonna just cut you off.
Right. You're
agreeing with my enemy? Like, come on, you tried to kill me?
Yeah.
That's too wild.
At what line do you give up? Like, we talked about this last week with Jeffrey Dahmer. I was like, all right, Jeffrey Dahmer, that's a serial killer. Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, nigga, sorry. You know what I mean? But if you took a picture of my enemy, I mean,
that's wild.
That is wild.
Where's the end?
I'm trolling like my daddy. My daddy is a troll too. He trolls everybody.
Right.
I'm giving you a taste of your own medicine. I don't know. I just don't believe in giving up on your children.
I don't think a son should be trolling the father. That's not. I don't care if the father is a troll and he's making money and he got his brand.
Where's the respect?
The apple don't fall far from the tree.
Nah, you don't troll your dad.
Right. Where's the respect?
That's the same person.
The son should always respect the father no matter what.
Yeah, you don't troll your dad.
But that's why setting examples is incredibly important.
I don't give a fuck about no example.
What's that comedian from Jacksonville? Lil Duval. He said something. He was like, "Yo, I don't really tell my kids anything. I gotta show them, because kids don't listen to what you say. Yeah. They listen to what you do. Yeah. So if you are a complete troll, a complete asshole, that whole
to other people,
that whole sentiment of do as I say and not as I do, that goes through one ear and out the other. Your child is gonna end up a lot like you.
Yeah.
A lot like you.
That's true.
If you want to continue being an asshole, guess what you're raising?
Because if you say asshole shit, they're gonna repeat it.
They're gonna repeat it.
Doesn't matter.
Repeat it.
Doesn't matter who you say it to.
Your style, your personality.
Right.
Yeah. They're gonna accept it. I agree with that.
I went to a baby shower yesterday, and one of my homeboys' daughters, she is the happiest, friendliest child I've ever seen in my life. And then I was having that conversation with somebody, and they were like, "Well, that's a reflection." That's a
shit. My kids happy. Fuck you, nigga.
Yeah, nigga, I try.
I bought a bounce house.
But to my point, they were like, "Well, that's a reflection on the parents," and maybe that is, or maybe that's just the kid,
the parents and the family.
But for sure, if whatever she's seeing in her parents, if it doesn't continue to be happiness and friendliness, that child, the likelihood of her continuing that is unlikely. And so that we got to think about that.
Sure, I do agree with that. I mean, do you feel like Marquise is entitled to 50 cents money?
No.
Yes and no.
I'm with Ken.
How are you gonna say both?
Yes and no, because we told you this last time or an umpteenth amount of times. The world ain't black and white.
No, black and white is not opposite answers. Yes and no. You're both entitled.
Can you
and
explain?
Not entitled.
Just explain.
First of all, okay, because you raise your child, whatever it is that you do, whatever it is your income is. Like you're not going to be a millionaire and then just give your kids
peanuts,
Walmart shoes when you can afford to at least go to Foot Locker.
That's your choice.
It is your choice, but that reflects poorly on you.
It's not poorly. If just because you don't want to spoil your kid,
I didn't say spoil.
What are you talking about? So what's wrong with getting Walmart shoes?
So think about
a millionaire.
Yeah, think about the percentage of what you're paying out for your children. Just look at it as percentage wise. No matter how much money that you earn, if I'm making $50,000 a year and I'm spending, just to make easy numbers, 10% of my income on my kid, okay, all right. Yep. And then if you're
that's Walmart.
But if you're a millionaire and then you're like, man, I'm gonna spend the equivalent of that 10% of that guy's 50%. How much percentage is that? But like it's just exactly how Tony was about to say 0.001.
Yeah, but
like why would you do that?
So look at it this way, right? So if the child is 5 years old and you're spending 10% of the $50,000, you're spending $5,000 on a 5-year-old kid. First of all, you don't really need to spend. Well, it depends. There might be some reasons you spend $5,000,
but don't take it too literal.
But if you're a millionaire. If you're spending $5,000, you're still covering all the children's needs.
Right.
Why are you supposed to spend $100,000?
But it's not supposed
just because you got more money, you got to spend more money.
You become a selfish, nasty motherfucker.
No, if you're still taking care of the child's needs,
it's the difference.
Why do you have to just throw away the rest of the money?
You don't have to.
So what are you talking about?
I'm just saying, think about it in the percentages, and not
a percentage.
But don't take it like an exact literal thing, like. For real.
Even as a father, I work and bust my ass to make sure my kids have, and so they can enjoy fucking life more than what I've enjoyed.
Not just
bare minimum
clothes and shirt,
like
and pants. Yeah.
If they want fucking I can afford Aquafina. My parents probably couldn't get that. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna drink fucking Aquafina because I can afford it. I want them to enjoy fucking life. If I can afford private schools, I'll put them in private schools. Right. I won't put them in public schools, which is the bare minimum, is what you're saying. A fucking millionaire who can afford $30,000 tuition in private school should do it.
Yes. That's I completely.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends, man.
What the fuck?
On what? Depends.
On what?
Because just because you go to private school doesn't mean you're gonna have a better outcome in life.
Percentage wise, you probably be better, more educated. I would say.
In the likelihood.
But you can get a good education from a public high school.
I didn't say you couldn't. Nobody said you couldn't.
So
all of us went to public school.
Yeah, so it's like you can still get an education. It's just because you can spend money to get the education, you should.
If you're going to spend money to get education in America, you're probably going to get a better education
at a private school
than public school.
What What if you just go to a public school and you have private tutoring at home? Is that enough?
Why do you need? You can go to a private school and then get private tutoring. What the fuck? You can afford it.
All right.
Or they might already.
So just because you can afford it, you should do it. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know, man. Just
for your kids?
No, I'm saying that if you're gonna still have a good child.
You don't know that. You have more of a chance of your child going to a public school. Just because your child
went to Catholic school, that don't mean the child ain't gonna be a fucking terrible person.
And that's
what's the percentage of that person becoming bad? Like, what are we talking about? Like,
but that's
a low percentage.
What you're saying is
it's not low percent.
But what you're saying is completely true.
They might get raped by them fucking Catholic priests.
And at a fucking public school, you'll get raped by the teacher.
Yeah.
Or by a security guard, because I've seen it.
That happens.
Kara City, here we go.
But it's not a blanket statement, and it's not a sum all. It's not a, you know what I mean? We're not saying that for sure. You go to a private school, you're gonna have a better education. It's just the likelihood. If you can afford something better, then
you would do
you
it.
get better.
Yeah.
You're not gonna better. You're not gonna feed your kids McDonald's.
If you got better, you give better.
I mean, McDonald's when you were young, nigga, that shit.
But what I'm saying is, you can afford better food.
If you're a millionaire, you're not gonna be like, you know what? Just cause you're gonna eat off the dollar menu. Why?
Why not? The children are watching the commercials. They probably go drive by a McDonald's. That's what they ask for.
The dollar menu. I specifically said the dollar menu.
But they don't know these expensive restaurants.
Peter,
those
you give your kids the best. You give your kids the
Yeah,
best, and that's it.
Imagine LeBron James Jr., Bronny. All the kids. I'm sure they go to not only the best schools, they probably go to the best basketball kind of camps.
The best trainers.
And everything that money can. LeBron is, I think, a billionaire at this point.
Yeah,
right. Close to.
Mm-hmm. No, he is a billionaire.
Mm-hmm. So LeBron is going to give those kids, if this gold pencils, gold papers, anything that's the best.
I don't know. Not always, because.
But the point I'm trying to say is, and them kids may never be good at basketball. Michael Jordan kids, none of them good in basketball. I don't think any of them good in business. Right?
That's real. Yeah.
I tried the best that I could.
Exactly.
But it's not just the money. LeBron made it. He ain't had all the goddamn money. But you gonna take the dog out of these kids? You just spoil them like
Why
that.
would you want the dog in your kids?
Because the dog makes you work, nigga.
That's true.
Listen,
you need to
me,
work.
That is true. I've heard
it ain't about money.
But
you gotta have some dog in you.
You do not want your kids to grow up the same way that you did.
You better give them some fucking dog, nigga.
Okay, we'll buy one. What I'm saying, you do not want your kids to. Nobody in America wants their kids to grow up.
That shit.
Listen, nobody wants their kids to grow up the same way they grew up. Is that not a truth?
Who's the most popular podcaster? The UFC guy,
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan. He even talks about his kids. All the money he got, he don't just want to spend money on the.
But you gotta. What house are they living?
But
you gotta understand. What house are they living in? What kind of cars he driving them around?
They go to a private school.
Come on, let's be for real.
I don't know if they go to a private school.
I'm willing to bet $1,000 they go to a private school.
I agree.
It might be the closest school to their house.
He may not buy them everything they ask for to
Actually,
keep them humble.
I won't take that bet, by the way.
He will not buy them LA Gears instead of Nikes.
So let me ask you something.
Why not?
If LeBron's son, right, with the money that he has, should he send his sons to the trainers that they currently have or to you?
He should send his sons. Why you got two options? He should send his sons to the trainer that he believes will give them a great chance of becoming successful.
I'll answer your question why I gave you two options. I gave you two options because that's how you tend to place all the things we talk about. You tend to place them in this one or other option. So I'm giving you something that simple. One or the other. Should he send them to you for free?
Why the fuck you say me and for free? Why
because
can't LeBron
it's cheaper.
Pay me?
Because it's cheaper.
For $2.
Because it's cheaper.
All right, so let me give you an example, right? Since you're giving me an example.
You didn't ask them.
But you didn't answer the question.
I did answer the question. Or ask the question again.
The trainers that they currently have, whatever amount that they're being paid, to save the money, should he send them to you instead?
If I can get the results that he wants, yes. So my example that I was gonna say in CrossFit, because I watch CrossFit games a lot. I love fitness, and sometimes I just watch it. So 5 years in a row, the CrossFit Games champion was Matt Frazier. Matt Frazier, the guy who trained him, he didn't pay him any money. The guy who taught. Even 1 year, Matt Frazier did terrible on some sprints. Before the next time he competed, he was training with third graders at a high school, or it was like middle school or high school. He was at a high school teacher who does track, and that's who was training Matt Frazier to become to win the competition the next year.
Sure.
It's not just because he got money, he got to pay the best. He learned from the person who could teach him, and he won the next year.
So do you feel like that's a risk?
No, I don't think it's a risk. I'm saying if you learn from wherever you learn, that's what's important.
I want to go to the best.
I mean,
I don't know how to say that.
But what if the best can't teach you?
Then they wouldn't be the best.
Haven't you had professors
then they wouldn't be the best.
Smart, but they can't teach?
They wouldn't be the best then.
What are you talking about, nigga? They're the best. They're recognized as the best. You went to UF with the best professors.
I mean, I agree. I agree with what I agree with, like the philosophy of what you're saying.
You just go to whoever can teach.
I agree with the philosophy of what you're saying, but what we're saying is the likelihood. Like, what is the like when I asked you? Like when I asked you the question, you framed your answer in if I can get the same results as Bronny's current trainers. And that's a good answer, except for the fact that you currently cannot give them the same.
All right, look at Dwayne Wade. Look at LeBron James. Look at all these niggas that made it to the league. How many of them had the trainers that Bronny got?
1% of the nation.
But that's not the point.
0.001%. What are we talking about?
But everybody who makes it to it's only like 500 slots. But there's guys who grinded.
Yeah, but
we got PJ Tuckers in the league.
All
There's
right, look at
niggas who
Steph Curry.
grind.
So let me
look
tell
at
you,
Steph Curry.
So right.
Steph Curry.
So let me
Steph
tell
Curry.
you,
Look at Kobe Bryant.
Peter. Do you want your kids?
Both of their parents were in the NBA. Look at Klay Thompson.
Mm-hmm. Do you want your kids to slave to get where they need to go?
I want
you want them to go through.
Why you ask me some dumbass questions?
Because it doesn't make sense.
I want my children to learn good values. What about and work hard?
Tim Hardaway Jr.
You can work hard.
You can be a role player. Why you got it? What's wrong with Tim?
No. My point is, there's a whole bunch of people in the league whose parents also played in the league. There's a whole bunch of people who played in the league whose parents saw that. Okay, my kid has actual talent, so I'm gonna put them in these better schools,
in these camps,
get these camps, even if I'm poor, because I know that there's going to be an investment in the future.
But there's
Kevin Durant.
There's a lot of them who. Well, Kevin Durant's parents played in the league?
No. I'm saying his parents made an investment in him when they saw that, my son is actually talented. I'm going to spend this amount of money to get him in the league.
His mom woke him up early in the morning, made him run hills all the time. That didn't cost no money.
Peter. He was in AAU. He was in AAU. Okay. He was in the camps. He went to every fucking camp. Okay. You gotta understand what you're saying. You're talking about like 0.00001% of the people who made it to the NBA.
The NBA is 0.0001.
Right. So you're talking about even a smaller percentage. What I'm saying, if you have opportunity to give your kids the best life or the best opportunity, you will do it.
All these parents are spending their money trying to give their kids tennis lessons and all that shit. All your children ain't going pro.
Exactly. That's true.
So let's just all of them give them the best chance. They not all going pro.
But they have a better chance.
They have a much better chance.
And I think that's like, you was thinking about this the other day, like Idris Elba, for example, right? In his new movie, the one where like he has 2 daughters
with the lion.
With the lion,
trash.
So his daughter is trash.
I didn't even watch it.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna watch it either.
I didn't watch it either.
His actual daughter in real life auditioned for the movie.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and but say it anyways.
Then he said, "No, like you're not
good enough."
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So people was mad at him, like it's not about if she's good enough or not. You're supposed to give it a shot.
Right.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like.
I feel like she still had the shot. She still got a because of her father, she got an audition.
She got the audition,
and that's what the fuck you do with your kids. Mm-hmm. Right. You put them in a place to be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you saying go run through fucking bullets and shit in the neighborhood and live there because I had to be. Pretty much, you're saying I have a million.
Why did I say living, nigga? I never.
You said go to public schools instead of private school, and then you got the money.
What does public schools have to do with running in bullets?
You went to New Orleans. Isn't that a low socioeconomics like neighborhood? What the fuck?
It's an A school now.
You went to Carol City. Look at you.
It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is you have an opportunity to give your son or daughter a better chance. Why wouldn't you?
Nigga, look, you turned out well for Carol City, nigga.
And my percentage was very low. You still don't get it.
So should his kids go to Carol City just so they try to turn out like him?
Fucking crackheads in my classes.
Just say yes or no, bro. It's a yes or no question.
Should his children go?
Yes.
They can go anywhere and still be successful.
But that's not my question. That's not my question.
You still got to study, nigga.
Let me tell you this. If you go to Carol City or if you go to Mass Academy, you still got to study. Let me tell you this.
You still got to do the work.
Let me tell you about myself.
So what are you talking about?
Let's talk about the work.
It's not like you just get A's just because you went to Mass Academy.
Let me tell you.
You still got to study.
Carol City was easy as fuck for me. If I would have gotten to a different school, I probably would have been at a different place, and I believe that in my heart.
You'd have been at a different.
I think I would have been at a different place in life.
Got you. That's a good point.
I skated through Carol City easy. Easy.
You would have been at a.
You should have taken the honors
I would have been
at Carol City.
I was in AP.
Don't take the regular classes.
Fuck you talking about? I was in AP.
But you said
what I'm saying is Carol City was easy. I think I'd be at a better place in life.
Oh, you went to better school.
I think somebody would have nurtured my skills and my knowledge a lot better than a fucking Carol City.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I had to take. Let me tell you, it was a lot of us in the AP class. We were just chilling. The shit was easy. Why the fuck is the AP easy for us? We need more challenging places to go. And if you had a private school, most likely they can see that it can foster you a little bit more.
Or any better school.
A better school, period.
Any better school. I'm
just being real with you.
I ain't gonna lie.
So, like another way to get your kids into a better school without it being private is where you live. You try to live
zip code stuff.
Exactly. You try to live in an area where your kids are zoned in a good school.
Yes.
You want your kids to go to an A school. That's another way people do that.
And which is why $6,700 a month.
Was not enough.
There's not enough
it's
money.
Not enough. Yeah.
One in New York City. And, I mean, you're 50 Cent. The richest people in the world live in New York City.
Oh shit, New York.
Yeah, they live in New York. So it's
right.
like we said, the zip codes. You know, it's like again, you can go to. I think Northwestern has a.
She had $500,000.
You know, yeah.
She was good.
But like for example, like the West has a Magnet program.
Right.
So for I think health, I believe.
Right. Medical.
And Carol City has law.
Magnet law.
So it's like I can send my kid to that.
We have a magnet at Northern.
Who gives a fuck?
Volleyball, right, or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know, man.
You can send your kids to Carol City for law, or you can send them to like a college prep school that focuses in
IB courses.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Right.
What's that school for advanced studies?
Advanced studies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Them kids be graduating like. And they already got the AA.
They going in as a sophomore.
You know
But look, even with all that, there's people who went to these schools.
And
they still ain't doing shit.
Yeah, that's a low percentage. Though.
They still ain't doing shit.
But it's not a sum 100. It's not like
y'all act like just because you went to Mass Academy or SAS.
But nobody's saying that.
You're not.
But you're saying, oh, let's go to the private school.
No.
Chance.
It's all about.
They still ain't doing shit.
It's all about giving somebody the opportunity.
It's about the. All right, you want? I want to give people opportunities, right? I'm not saying don't give people opportunity. But it still is individual. You still have to do the work.
That's 100%.
Yeah, but the work can be different.
The
work can be different. Is what I'm saying.
Or challenge yourself.
Before we move on, how about we hold on. Before we move on, I want to see if we could do something. I agree, and I think we all agree. No matter who you are, you have to do the work.
Yes,
that's okay. So that's
100%.
one. So we don't. All right. So we don't have to go back to that no more. Good. Junior said already that Michael Jordan tried to get his kids to play basketball. They sucked. So we all agree.
Trash.
He gave them the opportunity. They could not make do with it because they're not Michael Jordan.
And they ain't had that dog.
Boom. All right. So we agree with that. We don't have to go back to that. Now, all the three of us are saying is if you have the opportunity to give your kids the best opportunity, why not do that?
Of course.
But the best opportunity, man, like
and it's just out of likelihood. It's not a guarantee because we've already established that you have to do the work. 1, 2, we've already established that even people who have had it fucking failed. So now that we established those two things, without bringing up those two things, why would you not give your kids the best probability for success?
I think one thing too that we're overlooking is like we're comparing Mass versus Carol City. Like the textbooks are different. We're reading different material. You know what I mean? Like we're literally reading different
things. It's a whole new experience. You know what I mean?
The teachers are getting paid different. They have a different quality of teachers.
Right.
You have a 30,000
maybe higher, better.
No.
But what if they ain't got the same passion?
I still need. No, wait, hold on. Because we're going backwards. So we've already established the things that they just said. They already established that. But we've conceded all the things you've said.
But you're a parent.
We just want you to know. At least me personally, I just want an answer. If you can give them the highest probability for success, why would you not do that?
I think you should give your children great.
Shut up.
Then that is all you are saying.
Why are you talking?
That is all.
Stupid.
How long did it take for us to get there?
Go and braid your hair.
Please. How long did it take? You these idiots. Please.
So you're saying just pay for the best schools?
If you
get your one stupid lip,
we want to give them the best opportunities. Why not?
Why?
Why? Why give them the best opportunities?
Look, I'm saying you raise your children well. You have to
shut up.
Everything.
Nobody said that.
If you saw your son,
you didn't say nothing about values.
If you saw your son, very talented.
He think if you got money, you're a shithead.
Wait, I can't hear Junior. You said something about talent.
If you saw your son was very talented in football, you would send him to, let's say, Pace or Northwestern or St. Thomas Aquinas. They may not be the best academic schools, but football,
he made it.
You see what I'm saying? So you do whatever kids you got. You just want to put them in the best positions
to foster their skills, not on their own, but someone who's going to help them. You want your kids to go. You want your kids to be ahead.
Of course you
want your kids to be ahead.
And just keep in mind, just the highest probability. That's all we're saying.
When you have kids, put your kids in. Go to Liberty City and go get a daycare and put them in there, and compare it to somebody who goes to fucking Weston in a daycare. I'm just saying. You get what I'm saying?
It's different.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. It's different.
We have finally accomplished something this day.
Or call somebody grandma in the house to watch your kid versus the daycare.
Big
which kid's probably gonna be talking first?
I don't even know.
I'm just saying. You understand? But you stupid one wants to go to grandma's house. Go and sit down with grandma and watch a little bit
for free.
You're stupid. Yeah, your baby looking at each other. You're stupid.
But I mean,
maybe you're trying to say black things are not lesser than. Is that what you're trying to get at?
What, black things? I ain't really saying it about.
Let's not move backwards.
We can go there too.
But what I'm saying is,
that's a good question.
Like what you've been talking about a lot is money and finances. Right. You didn't talk about values.
That has nothing to do with anything right now. That's not part of it.
Important.
No, it's important, but that's not part of it.
But that wasn't the conversation.
That wasn't the conversation.
Those are two different conversations.
You've been very heavy on the financial part.
Because we're talking about 6,700 versus.
I could respond to that one. The reason is why is because we were trying to get you to get to this one point. We could talk about values, but understand that those are two separate conversations.
Michael Jordan had all the money in his world. His children still couldn't make it.
We established that already.
Yeah,
we're not moving backwards.
Pay the money. How
for the best opportunity.
Pay the money.
Can you shut up?
Yes, I'm with you. Again,
Can you shut up?
To circle back, I'm understanding where Marquise is coming from. I don't think she ever.
Boy.
What do you think about supporting kids after they turn 18?
So we got to, man.
I think, and it's so funny that you say that. Me and my friends were talking. We're like, that's probably like the one thing about the black culture that needs to change.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when you turn 18, you out of my house, you're an adult and all. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah. When I was 18 and my parents left me, I would not be where I am.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm in the greatest place ever, but just saying like I know for sure that's support for sure. That's support.
Yeah.
Because at 18 you don't have all the answers. You don't have all the skills. You're not making money. How can you get kicked out of the house without support? That's just crazy to me. And we look at Hispanics and we be like, oh, they all them in the house at the same time. Yes. You should be.
Saving
it should
bread.
be 30. Exactly. It should be 30 fucking families in there striving and making it. Why do you have to get an apartment at 18, get out your mom's house and have to have a job? No, support that motherfucker until they can stand up on their own. It's just crazy. So 50 with that saying, I understand, I kind of agree with him, but like, he's wrong on that. Once he was like, he's a grown man, you can take care of something. You can put him in a different place.
Wait, 50 sent him to the best schools, and he still can't. He still needs support. All that money that nigga poured into him, and you still want 50 to support him.
So I think
there's nothing to do.
Okay, so now we can get into something different besides the money. I think a big problem with that whole situation is that's a kid being raised by a mom who is spiteful of his dad, 100. And the dad is not in his kid's life for real.
Yes.
Oh, come on. She got caught by 50 having some game. She got lucky to have his child.
She got lucky.
Hell yeah, she's lucky she got pregnant by 50.
She might be, but that's still separate from what I just said. I'm talking about the problem.
She's resentful.
I'm talking about the problem between 50 and his son.
It's the mom.
To me, I think that's you not having a relationship with your son.
True.
And now the reasons why you don't have a relationship with your son is because of the mom. But for right now, I'm only talking about how important it is for you as a father
to be in that
child's life.
Right.
Yes.
1000%.
But I mean, we could let's play devil's advocate and say the mother, everything she told her son, like your dad is not a good man. He's very verbally abusive. He's not here, obviously. He's traveling.
She's told him that?
No, I'm saying.
For devil's advocate's sake.
She said a lot of negative shit.
Are we there?
What if she was right?
What if she's telling the truth? Okay, that's a great question.
I think she should leave it up to him because you hear this. You hear stories about this all the time where the woman never talks bad about the baby daddy because you want the child to develop a good idea of the father, and when you get of age, you'll realize who the person is, and you don't want to stagnate. I guess you don't want to stop the relationship between them because of what you say. And so if she is doing that, I think she's fucking up with that. I think she's hurting the relationship between them. She's hurting the son mostly because he's the one who's going to suffer. The son is suffering. I saw
some stories about 50 like being mean to the actress on Power when he was producing it and stuff. He is kind of mean, but I like 50.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on, but that situation could be from anything. She probably stole his wallet or something. Now you seen some shit about him being mean to her, so that's whatever. Everybody can be mean to somebody.
If she says that 50's mean, it could be true at times. He's probably not
I'm
nice
mean
to everybody all the time.
Which is everyone.
But then, how indebted are you to your children? Like, or when do you just give up on them? Like, man, I call them 3 times.
That's tough.
I call them 3 times. I call them 30 times.
I don't think there's a quantity to it. I think it's a quality to it. It just you have to just make a judgment based off of the entire context of y'all experience.
I think it's up to you. When you're just emotionally tired and ready to give up, then you stop. But you don't. You still leave the door open, but you stop. So if they want to progress with it, you allow it to happen. but you never.
I think that's a good answer.
You know what I mean?
When you're emotionally done, you just stop. If they want to do something, let them do it.
It's that's pretty much every relationship. Well, that's the way I take every relationship. Like I go until I'm just emotionally done. But with the child, you just leave the door open, and that's it.
I mean, it's a tough thing. Like I'm only asking because like I remember I watched Kirk Franklin on The Breakfast Club.
Oh,
you seen that one? His
son.
Yeah. Oh, no, not his son. He was talking about his parents.
Okay.
Kirk Franklin's parents. And whatever. His sister got arrested. She got arrested. She came out of jail for prostitution. So they all went to the house, had an intervention. Kirk Franklin's mom came with a new husband. And then the new husband was like, come on. Let's say her name,
Sarah.
Sarah. Come on, Sarah, we leaving. You know, your son, Kirk, he a rich man. He don't want to do nothing with you. So she was like, all right, I'm going. And he was like, wait, you my mom. What's going on? Like, you supposed to, this is your daughter who came out of prison. What the hell's going on?
Right.
So he started crying. And he go, leave like you always do. And he started crying. And then she was like, well, I'm going to leave. So he was just like, she's not supposed to abandon me like this. This is my mother.
Right.
And Kirk Franklin, a grown-ass 45-year-old man. You know,
right,
famous, blah, blah, blah. So that's what I'm saying. I guess in that sense, like, and she's not a good mother. She was on crack before. He got out of that, blah, blah, blah. So he tried his best to make that right. And she's still like, no, I'm going with my new man. Forget you. Forget this family. Forget all that. My new man said, let's go. So we going.
That's completely selfish. I mean,
like, the responsibility of a parent. When does... You know what I mean? Like having kids, you live for them in a sense. You work for them, you know. So when does that end? When they grow up?
Yo, honestly, hopefully never. Hopefully never.
I would say you pray for it then.
Pray.
Because like I think my parents pray that I don't need them. Pray that I'm able to be self-sufficient. That I don't have to rely on them. But if I need them, they're there. But they're praying that I don't need them. So essentially, it's forever.
Hopefully.
I agree that's probably forever. I don't think you cut off your child. I mean, like you said, hopefully you did a good job, and hopefully all that money you spent on all the best, that they don't need you no more.
I think that's the thing he's saying. What if they are not a good child?
Then you fucked up and you failed.
Nah.
No, I'm saying, do you give up?
Do you give up on your child?
On your child. Which is, I think, the 50 Cent.
Your child's
At
a prostitute.
some point, maybe, but it'd have to be very far before you get there.
Your child's a crackhead prostitute. When do you stop bailing them out of jail?
I mean, like this Dahmer shit. At some point, you got to throw your son away.
Right. That's a good example, right?
Like,
that's an extreme. That's the most extreme we can go.
Your son, like 50 Cent son, you said he bought him the shoe store. He's not a good businessman.
And your dad right there, nigga, take his knowledge, dude. Like, learn from him.
What if I'm not good at business? I'm just not.
Wait, all that money 50 poured into him, put him in the best schools, and he's still not good? Damn, he should have given this nigga some dog instead. Give him some values.
Oh, some dog. I get what
all that money he put into, I'm 50 Cent. You gonna go to the best schools. You got my name, and you still can't run a goddamn shoe store?
Peter, stop holding grudges, please.
Damn.
Yeah, seriously.
Stop holding grudges.
Nigga, y'all were on me for 30 minutes about this shit.
And that is a problem that you still don't understand.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
His son still can't run a shoe store?
So you feel like if he went to private
all
school,
that money?
If he went to public school, he'd be
God damn.
He was in Northern.
Right?
Yeah, I don't think he would have ran that store either.
That's tough.
Probably would have robbed his dad.
Being it's crazy, man.
It's tough.
I just still feel like you just don't give up on your son like that. Like, I don't know.
So there's no point for you? You never give up? You gonna be like that Dahmer's dad right there, nigga.
Well, honestly, maybe.
That's terrible.
Until the last lap, when I found out he killed 30 people, I didn't know. But like, are you?
I mean, Dahmer's dad.
Oh.
He did some crazy shit that I for sure wouldn't do.
Like what? You said his dad. His dad.
Everything. His whole life.
I want to get to the point of why I brought that up. But one thing he did try to do at some point when his son was in prison, he was like, "All right, I need to get my son help." And I think that shit. I would hope is your instinct as a parent.
When he his son institutionalized or
he
whatever.
was like, we need to give him help. He may be a monster, and we're not saying not to lock him up, but at least give him help, because just locking him up does nothing for my son. And if you, as a parent, I would imagine that would be my feeling. Like, yeah, sure, exclude him from society, but give him some help too.
I don't know about molesting a child.
So
I don't think that's my son no more. Though.
Dang.
Jeez.
Molesting a child? That's tough.
Yeah.
Because the way I think right now, to molest a child,
You're
like
sick.
you know what I'm saying, like you're a sick motherfucker.
Right, but if it's your child doing it,
Right, makes it. I feel
that
the
probably
same
ain't
way.
your child, man.
That's how I'm feeling right now. It's like,
I don't know.
Is it my fault? I don't know. I start like looking for ways of how did this happen? Like,
but do you try to help get that person help?
I would pray for him to seek help.
You pray for him to seek help instead of giving him any resource to get
child.
Help. So here's my question: giving him resources to get help. So here's these doctors. Here's this institution that you should go to.
I should have never said molesting a child. That's a strong thing. Maybe something.
Even if it is,
keep it. Child is a very strong.
But keep it strong.
Because you're my child. I can't imagine somebody molesting you. You got to molest a baby.
Exactly.
Like I think you need to be left alone.
So you would do nothing for your child.
No,
I would pray for you.
I would turn you into prison.
I hate that. I honestly hate the answer. I would pray for you
because that's good intentions on my behalf. I'm just not physically moving.
I hate that answer for almost everything.
Well, I'll pray for you.
I'll just pray for you because then that's it.
Lord,
if you have the opportunity, like how does God work? Like don't God work through people?
God, please forgive him.
You know what I mean? No, but I'm saying, but how does God work? Does not God work through people?
No, he does.
Do you not? If you believe in God, for whatever religion, is any blessing that you get not manifested through your connection with another person? So if you're a believer of whatever, then if I have the resources to help somebody, maybe I am the blessing for somebody.
What if my resource is prayer?
But if that's what I'm saying.
You don't think prayer works?
I do think prayer works, but I'm saying you could pray and then let me Google who can I call to ask to give the resources to my child because my child needs help. I won't just pray and then that's it. I wash my hands.
If you rape a child for real, I'm sending you to prison.
Yeah.
Your resource is prison.
Right. And I'm praying.
You're gonna go to prison.
And I'm praying that it's not too bad for you.
But I'll still pray for you. And I'll still
that's funny. I pray it's not too bad.
Like maybe general population. I don't know.
You'll try to get him in the general population?
Or maybe like go to a psych. I'll try to get you to a psych ward.
That's okay, but that's a resource.
So they can be by themselves, just isolated all the time until someone come give you medicine.
Yeah.
So you don't get raped? Yeah.
So you don't get fucked up in there.
Okay, but at least
that's what I would do as a parent.
But at least that's not nothing. Because
that's still prison though.
I'm not saying Dahmer shouldn't have been isolated.
He says he's gonna call the police on his own son.
I'm still gonna call the police.
But
But I'm saying that's the resource.
That's not a resource, bro.
Hey, look, come on, get him.
I believe that if I pray to God, I want you to save my child from this affliction of raping children.
Right.
I think the answer is prison.
Right. And I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yeah, I'm saying the blessing from God is prison.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Okay.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that.
But you're not my child.
But I'm saying, y'all,
you must be delivered.
But I'm saying, if you could do something, don't just say I'm gonna pray and then I'm gonna just see what happens.
Oh, you know what? That kind of leads to my next point. Then, what if 50 Cent disowned this child, disowned Marquise?
I think he did.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he said he don't love his son no more.
That's tough to say.
That's his exact words.
That's tough,
man.
But if you love your, all right. So I've heard somebody say love is an action verb. So if you do nothing, is that love?
Yeah, if you feel it, that's love.
You can love from afar.
You can love from afar, but if love is an action verb, if you do nothing, is that love?
Well, I love
Why
myself
you set it
more.
up with your fucking condition?
It's not my, but it's not my.
No, it's
not my condition. It's a question. It's not my condition.
I can still love you, but love myself more. It makes me not want to do it. You know, I don't
so
do it.
Love is not an action verb.
It is.
Say, I don't love my son no more, dog.
That's tough.
There's no way.
Even if he rapes someone,
you still love him. Love doesn't get lost because you rape someone. That's why I'm praying for you because I love you.
I'm praying because I love you. That's right.
I don't pray for my enemies. Sorry, God, but like it's what it is.
That's
my
crazy.
Son was Jeffrey Dahmer, I love you. You gotta go to prison. I'll come see you.
Right.
Make sure you're okay and put commissary. Maybe I guess.
Right.
But
which is not doing nothing. Which is that's my only point.
For 50 to be like, I don't love my son no more.
You never loved him. You never loved him.
Well, just us knowing that he did something. He talked. I don't
even think he means that when he says that.
You think he still loves his son?
I absolutely think he still loves his son.
Based on that relationship, like how we just talked about how he was probably always away on tour and stuff. Probably never really developed a real relationship with his brother. No bond. True. So then when he says I don't love him, like you never loved him. You never grew to love him in the first place.
I agree with that. That's exactly what I believe. I don't believe he ever loved him in the first place.
Right. That's wild. But 25, that means before he blew up, he would have had some type of interaction with his son.
Yeah, but it's probably
assuming,
like come see your son.
I'm presuming though.
Come see your son for an hour. Okay, I love the nigga now. No, nigga, it take time.
25 years ago, it would have been what, 2007?
I have no idea. No idea.
No, maybe before that.
You said 25.
We could just use the calculator. Use the calculator.
97.
Use the calculator.
97.
Yeah.
All right.
And 50 blew up in 2003 while he was in high school.
Something like that.
So
Right. He was on the road all the time.
Yeah.
He was working.
She was
working all the time.
You know what she was. Come on now.
But we're also assuming that in
lucky.
in that time span, he didn't have any communication with his son.
Even if they had, we know their lifestyle is not very easy to be with the child. So we can say that. Let's say he spent a month out of a year with him.
Okay.
Is that enough?
Man, no, that's terrible.
It's not.
That's terrible.
It's terrible.
That's terrible.
It's not enough.
But
And
I mean,
they're not together, so you know she's not on the road with him. And so,
Does that make him a bad father automatically?
to me, yes. Yeah, that'll make you a horrible fucking
does
father.
that make you a
Yeah, I
bad
guess
father?
That'll make
I'd
you
say
horrible.
that probably does make you a bad
I don't
father.
know. Chasing money to provide for a family.
Stop this.
Wait, was that what he was doing? Was he providing for?
Essentially,
Was that his reason?
No.
for the
I
money?
mean, essentially, it's,
Nope.
it's
He says chasing
That's
to
bullshit.
provide.
That's bullshit. I completely reject that. And here's why. If that is your whole point, then why not also try to foster a relationship with your child? You don't make money to give to your child and just leave. That's not the whole point of this. It's to foster a relationship, to put them in the best opportunities so that your child hopefully doesn't turn out to be a shit.
So that your child can't run the shoe store you give him
You just
20 years
described
later.
our previous generation.
How did I?
Their number one focus wasn't about raising children,
But
and having
it was
this
providing.
it's providing.
emotional support. Hold on, to them, and then generation before that, forget it. They had work all day. Your mom is at home. She'll take care of you, do all that shit. I'm working. So are they all bad fathers?
No.
They're not all bad fathers. I think I think that's a little. I think we're kind of comparing apples to oranges on that one, because those people, you're in the house. You go to work. You come home. You see the kid. You give the kid what you have. So what you have is how you were raised, your knowledge, the context of whatever time period that you're describing. You're pouring into them what you have. Now, whether that is good in our standards, today's standards, is something completely different.
So you're saying just physically being there?
No, I'm saying if what they did according to their time. So you can't compare that to our time, because we're looking at it at a completely different lens. Yeah. So a man in the 1920s and a man in 2023 are probably two different kinds of men. How you raise kids, there's different. How the relationship between men and women, there's differences. So right. you can't completely compare them.
But just based on the way you see shit today,
right?
And so talking about the 1950s.
So keep it completely today, because I'm not commenting about 1800s. I'm not commenting about 1920s.
Well, I'm talking about a previous generation. That's 25 years before.
And that's still, even if we were to put it to our parents' generation, right. There's still some differences.
So nowadays, the father, if they provide, they need to be there physically and emotionally as well.
So so now it's an extreme to say that he only had time in a month out of a year, because that was the example Tony said, to be with his kids. I don't believe that. But I don't believe, especially that he has a relationship with his other kids.
To me, it's like, if we're talking about previous generation, right? Like, say for example, let's say your father's, for example,
right? Understood.
His idea was, I'm coming from another country. I'm going to work for my 4 children, provide them a better life, such and such. You take upon that, and now you can provide and be there. Maybe something he wasn't. I'm not saying he wasn't, but doesn't that make you then automatically a better father?
No, I don't believe so. Then my father, I don't believe so.
I'm not trying to say your father.
No, I get what you're saying, but based on his sacrifices, he was able to allow me to be better. I mean, to be in a different place. Not to say better than him, because his sacrifice was just different than mine. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, I'll be real with you, like, my dad worked a lot.
Yes.
But that was his sacrifice in order for us not to be on the street.
Exactly. That's way different than 50 Cent.
Like, remember, they're immigrants. They don't really have anything. They barely speak good English. During the 1970s and 60s, was giving a black man from Nigeria anything.
Right.
So his sacrifice was, I'm going to kill myself to make sure these kids can eat. Right. I'm at work all day. Which he put me in a place where I don't have to work like him. And so that makes him even better father than me, because I'm not doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and a much better father than 50 Cent, because that's not their situation. Like, He's not grinding 24/7 because it's like I have to get my kids out of the street. No, 50 already out the street. 50 already a millionaire.
But he's providing an example though. Just like Shaq, he's always working. I mean, that's he got a motor.
But wait, Shaq would tell you on the instance that his biggest regret is not being there with his kid.
I was just about to say that.
He says his biggest regret is cheating on Shawnee, his ex-wife.
What the fuck we talking?
Yeah,
that's what he said his biggest regret is.
But
that's what he didn't say it was. He said his ex-wife.
Yes,
because that's
what he said.
Hold on,
he broke
Peter.
the family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why he said that, because he broke the family.
But he would
That's
tell you he
point.
wish he had more time. Everybody who's made it and retired would be like, damn, I wish I didn't miss those birthdays. I didn't miss those school.
Exactly.
That nigga wanted to be one of the greatest, and that was the sacrifice for what he went for.
Understood.
Whoa, Peter.
Yes,
Right.
No.
Hold
on. You sacrificed being a good parent for being great.
Wait.
To be great.
And that's not what Shaq said. And
I'm
that
not
is,
saying he said that.
And,
No, that's
in general.
And
I'm
that's
talking about in general. You have to when you want to be great at something. Shaq, Barack Obama, goddamn 50 Cent, whoever the fuck. You're a parent. They have to sacrifice something to achieve something else.
agreed, but there are extremes to it. There are extremes to it.
I agree.
If you could only be with your kids a month out of the year, and that was the extreme example with 50. Yo, we know you could do more than that. And we've seen you do more than that with other kids. That's why your oldest kid resents the younger kids. What if
you could only be with for example, my old boy used to work 7 to 3, then 3 to 11.
Yeah.
Now I'm at school from 7 to 3, doing homework, and then I go to sleep.
Okay.
So we didn't see him until Saturday morning.
Right.
Every week.
But would you say your dad didn't raise you? He didn't have a hand in it? But did your dad have a hand in raising you?
A hand?
At least a hand.
Yeah, but that's not the point that I'm trying to say. It's like, so then now that I've seen that model, that's a model I can improve upon. I don't have to work, right? So that would make me then a better father.
Okay.
When the time comes.
All right.
What you mean, all right? That's what I've been saying this whole time.
No, that's not what you've been saying this whole time. Because
I'm just asking the same question. He said his dad is better than he is.
Because his dad made a sacrifice that he would not. That's why he said his dad is better than him. So now he said his dad is better.
I don't really remember, but that's
what he said.
I'm talking about being a father. I'm saying
yes,
a father to your children.
I've been following what you said.
If his dad gave him the opportunity to, like, you don't have to work as hard because I laid that groundwork for you. Now you can be a better emotional support to your children.
Exactly.
You can raise them, discipline them more. It doesn't have to be X, Y, and Z. You can be there.
Yes.
Wouldn't that make him a better father?
That would make Tony a better father
to those children.
Yes, it gives Tony the opportunity to be a better father. Yes, and I agree. But Tony, however, said what he thinks makes his father better than him.
Right. My idea of
is that his father would make a sacrifice that he wouldn't make.
But in general, you're right, Junior. I understand, and you're right.
Exactly.
In my perspective, right. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think we agreed on that.
Yeah,
I think we agreed on that. Yeah. But what I was saying, the part where I disagreed is if 50, just using the example that we used earlier, if 50 only spent a month with his kid, I do not believe that it's because that's all he had. Right. That he would have to show me that that's all that he had, because we see proof that you got a relationship.
I think that, like you say, the proof, but you're misplacing when he was coming up and grinding. With maybe he's already successful and he got more time now.
Maybe that could be, and I'm telling you, I do not believe it. I have to see the proof. Like, because to me, I cannot imagine being a father and not making every sacrifice I can to be in that kid's life.
Now you wouldn't make every sacrifice you can. Come on, that's bullshit.
Within reason. Both. And now sometimes one is gonna take over the other. So sometimes it's like, hey, look, I use my actual job. I have court today. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna miss this thing.
Right.
You know, I'm not gonna make everything, but as much as I can make, I'm gonna make. I'm gonna put an effort in.
You will make sacrifices to be there.
I will make sacrifices to be there.
It's not like a second idea. Like, there's nothing in front of you unless it's like work or something dire in need.
Exactly.
If you just give him money, yeah, of course.
Now if you're saying, yeah, I gave you the money, nigga, that's it.
Yeah, that's not.
That's not good parenting. Which is my point, and that's how I see. It seems like, based off what we said, that that's what it could have been with 50. Now I don't think that. I think he tried, but
I don't think 50
he didn't try enough.
He probably didn't try hard enough.
Especially with a bad relationship with the mother.
Yeah.
You got to
You're not really trying.
You got to swallow a lot of pride.
I think he tried it all.
Yes.
You have to swallow a lot of pride to make a relationship like that work.
So I'll say 50, Doug. I mean, were you gonna say something?
No.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say just 50. Just call him, man. That's all. Just call him.
Yeah, that's funny. It's too public too, man. Like
he can't call him now. He call him now. That shit's on TMZ.
Made a commercial.
I mean, just meet
That's
up with
true.
him. Y'all just link up and squash it.
Yeah, he has to. You're the father. You got to step up and make it happen.
Even if it's on TMZ.
It's like we always say, the older brother needs to like handle the situation first. Like, you're the dad.
Yeah,
Sit the nigga down and be like, yo, let's come to amends. Stop playing. It's your child.
Yeah.
Cool. Shameless goats.
Shameless goats.